Park in Boulder, Colorado. Boulder's kind of one of its two home courses. This is one of, you'll see Eagle play occasionally on some of his promo videos and everything. He recently shot a neg 18 here in a tournament, but the course record is actually 19 under. Someone has gotten a perfect round with an ace. It's kind of a pitch and putt course. Mostly short holes. There are a few long ones on the back that are kind of challenging for if you don't have a big enough arm. A couple holes around 400 or a little over. But for the most part, every hole is gettable. So let's go out here and see what we can do, Alright, hole one is over here. It bends around the corner. It's pretty much a forehand throw. Turnover is hard because of the downhill. It actually tends to, if your turnover comes out of it, it tends to actually fade out down the hill, and there's trees in the way. It can leave you with a really bad putt. So even though I hate forehands, I don't really throw them much. I'm going to forehand this hole because it's pretty much have to almost. So we're going to go with the razor claw. That should be pretty good. And as you can see as we approach my lie here, just the way this terrain goes down into this trouble makes a turnover kind of hard. And it's not long enough. I think it's only 130 feet or so. It's not a long enough hole that I can't forehand even when my shoulder was bad. I can use a one-fingered, mostly wrist whip on that type of throw. All right, one under. Let's see if we can keep it going, huh? Hole two, 183 feet. You can see the pin up there on top of the staircase. You can barely see it behind that tree. There is some kind of airspace in this hole in these trees. So there is a kind of a turnover line or a forehand line. You can also go low and try to skip up the hill, but you also can take a big spike hyzer and get it to stay on this hill. It's a pretty tricky hole. One of the kind of bonus birdies for me.
And the camera shut off for no reason. So you didn't get to see my beautiful shot. I went with the spike hyzer over the first layer of trees into the hillside. C-line PD. It's super beef. This has been like the most successful shot for me on this hole. So yeah, let's hoof it up there and see what we got.
All right, we landed here. As you can see, we made it past this tree line. When the leaves are full here, there's beautiful Flatirons in the background. It can be kind of hard to get through this tree line properly and still be in a good spot to putt. There's a lot of danger here and throw the rollback. That's why I like the spike now more than the turnover. Tends to at least get here to give us a putt. We're an uphill putt though. There we go, 2 down for 2. Maybe these glasses are helping. All right, hole 3, 162 feet. You can see it straight through this little tunnel here. But the line is pretty tricky, and there's a decent slope behind the pin. So it is easy to skip way beyond and not leave yourself a putt. The forehand line is pretty good here. But the backhand line is here also, kind of toward this tree and out. So that's what we're gonna do. No razor claw again here. Nice and soft. Hopefully it won't skip too much. hoping this is stable enough to spike down a little bit. But nice, easy toss. We'll have to get the inside. Oh. Well, we cleared everything, but that's not going to be very good of a putt. So, unfortunately, we're way inside on that, and got a pretty good skip, especially as cold it is now. This slightly slanted coming in off the fade is just going to give us quite a big skip. So, got a tough one here to get a birdie, get our birdie streak going. The perfect round is in serious danger here. Unfortunately, the perfect round is off the table, unless we can get an ace, so maybe not. All right, hole 4, 156 uphill. They recently added this new triple Mando feature. There used to be a bush right in front of the pin that kind of forced you to go around it. When that bush first died and they removed it, I actually got my second ace ever here, going straight at it with an NB. So I'm already kind of versed in this shot. So I wasn't really disappointed when they put this triple Mando here. I think it's kind of cool. The drop zone is the log there. But since this is Eagle's home course, we're gonna go with this Mania, and we're gonna go with Sky God straight at it. Too soft, but we are up there. Didn't miss the Mando, so we can still kind of put in. All right. So a little soft, came up a bit short, but we didn't miss the Mando. So these poles are actually angled, but if you do the Mando straight, either way, we didn't miss it. But we're at such an angle that it's nearly impossible to put it in, because on such a short putt, there's no chance to get much left or right movement. I'm gonna try with the razor claw, but even if it's this overstable, it still needs spin and loft to be able to move left at all. But here's a shot anyway. As you can see, the only way to get it to move left is to go much higher, and with the triple Mando, there's just no chance. Gonna tap out here. All right, and move on. Just hole number 5, 144, just down to the left. The hill fades pretty hard after the pin, so going for this can leave you with a very, very long putt. I see Eagle actually throw a flex forehand to try and keep it more safer. I'm gonna go with the flex backhand, very softly. There's the claw again here. I have aced this with a similar disc and a similar throw, so let's see if we can get it again here. A bit short, but we didn't skip down the hill, so should be back on the birdie train. We still got a decent putt here, but it's definitely very easy to go. It's such a short putt. To me than trying to ace it, because acing just tries to get you in too much trouble on this one. All right, hole 6, It's 2 pin locations. It's almost always in the A to me, I think, in the 194. It's straight through there. You can see it down there, but there is kind of a wall of trees along here. This is mostly a forehand shot, but I like the turnover. I really like the angle of the turnover here. If it pans out, it'll kind of has much better of a chance to stay by the basket, in my opinion. Forehand, unless you can spike it pretty good, tends to skip a little bit. So we're gonna go mind bender. All right, so we skipped a little past. The guy said we almost aced it. So I think I came right through this gap. Got my putter. But yeah, I love the turnover, especially with the mind bender. It tends to always land flat. So, much less chance of skipping. A bit outside. Unfortunate. That's a tough one to lose. I thought I threw a great shot, but that's how it goes. 7 at 2 locations, 144, 174. Both in a line. This is actually the long position down there at 174. The close position is just behind these trees right here. I'll mark that, but kind of a tricky thing. There is a hyzer line way up high to get this. There is also a big anhyzer turnover spike. Kind of weird throws. I've actually had fairly good success messing around with that, with anhyzering a putter, like almost a grenade style anhyzer. But I also like kind of shooting this gap. So we're gonna go NV kind of low. There's 2 gaps. I like to kind of shoot for this one slightly to the right and then let it kind of skip in. Got through. Even if you hit the trees there, if you hit that first gap, it's pretty good chance for a putt. All right, we got it so good that we actually skipped past it. We'll hit this stuff. Stop, bounce off. I got it so clean, I got all the way past it. That's nice. And no obstructions, which is nice. So now that's the front 7. It's on this little hillside part. Now we actually cross over into the sports field and the other bigger flat park. Okay, and now we're coming up out of that first park onto the corner of the sports park out into this big field. And it opens up a little bit more. A couple long holes give us a chance to throw some bombs. Here we are, hole 8, 265 or 380 or 360. Although I have lasered this at closer to 380. You can see it kind of way down there past it. The secret to this hole that I discovered is this tee pad is slightly angled up. And then combined with this fence that's not very tall, but combined with the hill, the fence is kind of almost at your throwing height. It kind of causes most people to throw upward. And I used to have a tough time going uphill and throwing over the fence of way nose up and never getting distance and hyzering out by that tree down there. All right, let these guys play through. So as I was saying, at Matrix style, there is no spoon, there is no fence. This plays more closer to like 380, and because of this uphill in the fence, and then it slopes downward after the fence very slightly, so any nose angle up is gonna hyzer out way early. So you really have to force yourself to go nose down and low over the fence. And I just pretend like it's a normal throw straight. I think that fence level is probably actually right here somewhere, so it shouldn't really get in the way if I throw well. So we're gonna go cloud breaker. There's plenty of room to the right, but you can go OB into the road if you turn it over. So I'm gonna go cloud breaker just to be safe. We got a good launch. Oh, and that might be parked. I just got these new glasses, so I'm hoping it helps my depth perception. I had one eye that was really bad, and I had some bad depth perception. I literally just picked these up, so this is my first few throws with these. I might have just parked it, we'll see. Here's the close position. It's kind of just behind this first tree. And our cloud breaker is up here. I didn't quite get there. I think it's a little, still brand new, it's pretty stable. I thought I got enough on it, but not quite. But we are in pretty good position here to potentially get a birdie. This is always a bonus birdie. I've gotten this a decent amount of times, but it's still long enough that it's still kind of a bonus birdie for me. So. Feeling disc golf. And we'll take our tap in. Move on. Hole 9. Par 3. There's a 320-foot hole just beyond these trees. And then the 420. Haha, Colorado. 420. But you can see someone scratched it out because it's actually 440. I've lasered it too. I typically tend to throw about 440 when I throw max a lot, or 420. I tend to hit that distance quite a bit, which is ironic. If you've seen any of my other videos, I actually land exactly that amount all the time. Interesting controversy, someone came out here and sheared off a ton of limbs off all these trees to make them clear on the bottom. At one point this year, the boughs were almost at the ground, making them really, really tough obstacles. And if you got in them, you were really, really screwed. But a big controversy, someone came and cut a bunch of stuff down without permission from the city, because this is a city park, and without notifying the golf clubs either, or the disc clubs either. So anyway, they look like they're getting off. So I don't have quite the flippy disc I want for this shot. You can go big hyzer if you have massive power. I don't have that kind of power. I like to try to go left side with something flippier and try to get the big S curve around the trees and to come out of it. I've done it once or twice. I've birdied this hole exactly one time. I got it perfect. It was with an orbit bolt, super flippy, but I got it way high enough and it came out just at the end to get near the basket and I hit a putt. All right, we're gonna go with the, I don't really have anything that flippy. I'm hoping this Grace, when it's cold, has enough glide and enough flip to get the turn we want, if I can get enough snap on it. So, yeah, I don't have those flip drivers in here right now, but hopefully it's pretty cold. So. actually get us a putt. I got a ton on that. It turned. I can't tell how close it is, but we may actually have a putt on this. Okay, I really hope that finishes with recorded that throw, because my camera died right as I was going back to it. So hopefully it saved the throw, because that was a pretty awesome throw. I didn't quite get there. I still got about maybe a 40-footer here, but I got the turn I wanted, and I'm within circle 2, which is pretty rare. Again, I played this course hundreds of times, and I've only birdied this hole once, so I may pick for at least a chance at it. This is as good a look as I usually. Most of the time it's either straight or way off to the side when I get this power, so. Let's go. It's 2 times I've birdied this hole. I'm so stoked about that. That felt so good. Okay, hole 10, here we go. 170 or 300. It's in 300. Kind of see it back there. Pretty basic hyzer on this one. Ground is a bit skippy, so you know we want to get something to lay in there nice and soft. I'm gonna go FD. FD, nice and soft, nice and flat. Let it just glide back in. Hopefully it's not too cold for this FD. But oh man, I'm so stoked about that. I know I can throw 440, but to get it on the right line, that was probably only about 400, but to get it on the right line and then make the long putt, oh man, that's why I play this game. That and the views. All right, 300, FD, easy. Floating up there. Oh, and we are parked. Well, I don't know, parked, but that should be a good putt. Maybe these glasses are helping. I don't know. It's hard to tell yet. But it's nice being able to actually see. I mean, I could always see, but it was always a little bit, it's like half blurry where it doesn't focus completely well. And it made judging long distances and seeing the disc pretty far away a bit of a challenge. So now I feel like I can see the disc the whole flight, and it's pretty nice. So I'm excited. Oh yeah, perfect. I love that FD. Such a great fairway. Just an easy throw. Putting has been my bane, so not only the throw, but the fact I made the putt. Putt finally feels like it's not perfect, but it feels like I'm at least getting it consistent. If I can get over some of the nerves and the pace issues in tag and tournament play, I might be able to finally get some good scores in. I always play great, like by myself typically. I tend to throw much more relaxed. But when I make mistakes, I also throw a second shot. I miss a putt sometimes, you know, when I play in a rhythm, play very fast, so it's much easier to keep that rhythm going. And it's easier to, when I do those second throws to adjust for a mistake, that kind of self-corrects. And so I feel like that inflates my score quite a bit. So again, a lot of people will tell you, you'll never shoot the tournament scores you shoot in practice. So, which is true. I've never really been able to put it together for complete rounds. But anyway, let's keep going. All right, hole 11. 189 or 305. This is in the 305. The 189 is in this dirt patch just to the left of the big tree there on the right. They took down this one tree, and again, controversy, they shaved some even more branches here. I think there was some forehand throwers that were mad Took away their forehand line. I used to not be able to reach this, and I used to throw a bit of an Anheuser flex line with like a 9-speed to get there on a straight line. But nowadays, 300 is pretty easy for me. I could go FD, or I could even go MD3. I like MD3 here because I'm going a little straighter, so I can keep it a little bit lower than the FD or out there on that lofty shot. So MD3. That looks great. It's short. I actually kind of softed it. Felt great, but I think that's fairly short. Yep. It came up a bit short. Actually doesn't. Maybe edge circle on here. Should be makeable. Talk about my putting being good. I go and do that. Hole 12, 195 and 215. 195 is on the top of this little ridge here, and it's in the 215, which is in the little bowl behind it. Trees on either side. There's this tree kind of on the right side here of the fairway. There is a kind of a straight hyzer flip toward it. Little slight left anti-turn, which normally I love, but I kind of constantly go to the big spike on this. I just like it. This is a line my friend taught me when I first was learning. So I'm gonna go pyro. Pyro's very overstable in this altitude. So I'm gonna go big spike, high out right. This is almost the perfect distance for my spike with this. So now, depending on how it skips or rolls, it should be pretty good. All right, we skipped a little bit harder than I thought. It didn't spike quite hard enough. Got a little bit of a forward skip, but again, thanks to our infamous tree trimmer, we actually have a clean look at this. So hopefully we can walk away with the bird still. But it counts. All right, par 13, par 3, 165 and 210. This is straight ahead. I believe this is the 210 because I think the other one that's on the left is the closer. I'm not sure if those distances are all that right though, because they're fairly in line with each other. One's just off to the left. This one's pretty straight. Just a good easy NB throw. Let it settle down. Wind is starting to pick up. It's getting pretty cold. It looks like it's left to right. That might be short, but I think it should be pretty good. There's a kind of a gully there, so depends if we got up over the gully or not. Yeah, unfortunately, didn't make it up the gully. I think this tailwind kind of pushed it down a little bit. I threw it a little soft, just a tiny bit higher where we hit the top of this. Let's get toward the basket. You have to be usually a little soft because it does drop off a bit. behind it, so I feel like it's easier to go long than it is short, but not my greatest throw. Hole 14, par 3, 160, 202. The 160 is right on the edge of this, and then it dips way down, and you can kind of just see the top of the 202 pin down there. It's down in, drops off probably about 6 feet or so. So, got to kind of watch your speed, because it's easy to fly back to that fence and leave yourself with kind of a long putt. So we're gonna go, I feel like the Sky God is a little bit more slower than the NG. A little nice touch of Sky God to be floated down in there. Skip off the top. That should be perfect, actually. Here is the close pin. It's just on the edge of this hill. Kind of becomes a bit of a death putt. Pretty easy to go down. We got the perfect skip off of the top of the hill. Easy drop in. All right, back on track. Birdie alley here, and we already missed one of them. Unfortunate. So my personal record on this course is 13 down. I don't know if I got the bonus on 9. Didn't get 8, but I missed a couple more that I normally get. So, but this back stretch here from once you get off the long ones really should be birdie city, but we may have a chance. All right, hole 15, 205, 225. Hey, this is in the longer position, straighter. Oops. Right out there. The closer is a bit more left, and then we've got an OB fence here kind of down the right side. So at 225 I'm going to go back to the NB. I basically built this purple bag for this course in Harlow, which is the two I play most common with my friends and tags and stuff, and I didn't want to take a big bulky bag because obviously these courses you'll see I only need drivers on a couple holes. But here we go, NB. Getting kind of flat toward that tree. Let it drop in at the pin. Oh, that's a little wide. Pin high, but I went a little wide on that one. Yeah, I was right. Just a touch deep of pin high. But a little bit wide. Didn't fade enough. Usually put a little baby hyzer on that. I just did a little too flat. Kind of rushing myself a little bit. But the circle one should be makeable. It's the putts I need to make anyway. I prefer not to have to putt very hard. But I got through there. That came out of my hand really bad. Backside view of this. This is coming up at hole 16. This is the island, so you can get a better view of it here. Oh, gave another one away from bad putting. But here we go, hole 16. This is the island hole. So the recent addition is they put the island around it. It used to be just a wide open little easy throw. Now we've got the island. there is a drop zone on the side of the island, so you can still make par if you don't make it. There. We're just gonna go soft NB, float it up over the left side of this kind of bush thing, let it just drop in the island, hope the chips stop it from skipping. Nice, easy, smooth NB throw. We actually, a little short, but we skipped up on the island. But yeah, that's that baby hyzer I needed on that last hole. Kind of updated the drop zone. It's actually back a little bit further here, way off the island. For a long time we were using these kind of electrical covers as the drop zone, which is, you know, a makeable edge of circle putt. But I'm on the island here, so a chance for birdie. I came up a little bit short, but skipped over the rock, thankfully. Easy bird. All right, hole 17. 216 and 216. The right pin is right where they're throwing at, just kind of straight beyond the guy in the blue there. I don't know why this thing isn't focusing. All right, straight pin is right there beyond the guy in the blue. And then the other pin location is kind of down this alley over in this gap over here. Again, we got some shaved down trees and they're already lost the leaf. So this is just an easy kind of baby hyzer. Grass is pretty thick. You can kind of go run at it a little bit more. You're just not going to skip that far. Maybe in this cold, it would skip a little more, but I'm just going to go NB again. And that's sort of baby hyzer. All I have to do is make sure I get it just enough power to get past that second tree. It's actually a little bit more beyond that second tree than you think. But pretty easy putter throw for me right here. Easy. We got just parked it. Just basic hyzer with the NB. Still my favorite throwing putter. I love this disc. Hole 18, 171, 222. This is the 222. Right in front of the pine tree there. It does slope a little bit right to left. So, you know, running it can kind of put you in not the most favorable position, but still this is such an ace run hole that you almost have to. So we're gonna go with the NB and the Sky God. We're gonna go 2 chances at an ace here, but only the first one counts on my score. So NB, see the magic, little baby hyzer. Short. I like the line, just not enough on it. Easy bird though. All right, one last ace through. All right, this is for Simon. Here's the Sky guy. Not enough on it. Push down. Looking out at the beautiful Flatirons. And the nice thing about this course is it attaches to this big park here off hole 18. Really great place to come practice throw. I see a lot of people come out here in the afternoons and set up baskets and stuff. All in all, Boulder's pretty magical. No ice today, but well, there you go. There's Belmont. Well, there you have it. There is Valmont on a chilly December evening. We had just enough light to finish it. Hopefully this comes out. My first camera died about halfway through. This has kind of been a home course to me. This is one of the first I played consistently as my friends started their own little tags league here. They all worked close by, so I would drive up here every week and play this course. I love this course. It's not super challenging, but fun lines, and it's still challenging in its own way, and allows everyone to play, even like the non-big throwers. If you have a big arm, you have an advantage on a couple of them. Realistically, this is birdieable for the most of the field, except for maybe a couple holes, which maybe aren't reachable for some people. But you can kind of see why there's some big scores on this. There's not a whole lot of danger if you can kind of control your throws. There's quite a bit of trees, but you can usually give yourself a good putt. Great little park. Had a lot of great rounds here. Interesting to see Eagle throw out here on occasion. If you're in the tags leagues and whatnot, it makes this course look like it's the easiest thing in the world. But we finished at 11 down. Pretty good round for me. Got one that I've been wanting to get consistently for a long time, and I got it again. But then I missed a bunch of makeable putts. I think I had 2 or 3 that were easily gettable. Had some floppy putts. Still have some consistency issues there, but making more and more. So throws were mostly in the right place. A little bit short on a few of them, a little bit outside on a few of them. But there is Belmont and Boulder. See you in the next one.